as so often before, Season 8's finale is at the Bahrain International Circuit. But this has been a season like no other. From the start at Silverstone in September 2019 to the finale here, 443 days and one global pandemic have elapsed. Almost all the titles are up for grabs. Paul Dalla starts on the GTE AM pole, but the championship will be decided between the crew of the 83 Ferrari from AF Corsa and the number 90 Aston Martin, the points leaders, TF Sport.
It's been a great fight, not just with AF Corsa, but across the whole field. It's been a good year. We've had 4 victories already. The biggest one is obviously Le Mans. That was a special win for the team and everyone involved. But we want to win this championship. You know, that was our goal set out as early as 2019 when the championship started in September. So,
in GTE Pro, James Calado remains an outside chance to gain another title. Maxime Martin in the 97 Aston Martin is the closest rival to the points leaders. And with Aston Martin already the manufacturers' champions, they're looking for a driver's title to crown it all off.
Obviously, we have to finish to get this title, and that's our top objective right now, is just to get it home in one piece. But we're definitely going to try to get a finish on a strong result before we leave here.
If the driver's title remains in doubt, one thing is certain: reigning champions Michael Christensen and Kevin Estre, who start on pole, will not win the title this year. United Autosports have had an astonishing debut season in the World Endurance Championship, with the drivers' and teams' titles already tied up. But it didn't start quite so well.
We had a couple of issues at the start. Remember at Silverstone where we basically had a DNS. We had a DNF on the first lap. So to come there, we've come a long way. We've had so much success. We won Le Mans. It's been a fantastic year. And to finish on a high, hopefully, and be on pole yesterday was great. So yeah, I'm just hoping for another good race and to end the year on a high.
Toyota's number 7 crew start the final race on pole position, a race they must beat their teammates in if they're to be world champions. It's the final race for LMP1, a category that has produced far more than just close racing.
We achieve 50% less fuel consumption, 50% less use of tires, but yet faster race times and lap times than just a decade ago. And this is Le Mans, this is prototype racing, and that's what we had. Be happy we had it, and also be happy what's coming. I remember the GT1 days, really cool cars, hypercars will have again the recipe to fascinate people. We are creating a platform for more people to join. This is the WEC, this is Le Mans, and this is what I'm looking forward to.
30 seconds to open pit exit. Pit exit is green for 7 minutes. Start the formation lap for the 8 hours of Bahrain.
For one final time then, the field is waved away on the formation lap. Head of Communications Fiona Miller, CEO Jean Aver celebrate their final day in World Endurance by green flagging the field. Red lights are off and away we go. Mike Conway on the left-hand side of the picture. The pole man leading down into the first corner. Sebastian Buemi tucks in behind, but look, coming down the inside. Number 22, that's the pole sitter Paul di Resta in LMP2. Doesn't get between the Toyotas, but he does hold off the rest of the field. Through come the GT cars, a little bit of contact between the Porsche and the Ferraris, and the Aston's being dropped very quickly. A change at the front of GTE AM. Looks like the TF Sport Aston has jumped into the lead already, ahead of the pole-sitting 98 car. A clean first couple of corners. A long, hot couple of stints here before the heat of the day starts to dissipate. A 2 p.m. start, a 10 p.m. finish. Take a look here. As the Porsche gets in between the Ferraris, there was a little rubbing. You don't want too much of that early in the race. The 97 Aston gives us the perfect view. I think so too. Oh, trouble for Bonamy Grimes. The Red River Sport Ferrari facing the wrong way. Now what happens here? Egidio Perfetti gets caught out as Bon Grimes doesn't pick up the throttle so quickly. Here's our GTE AM lead battle. Paul Dall'Anna with the yellow nose right behind the red Aston Martin of Sally Yolok. All the gentleman drivers have started in the AM class. Third place, that pink and purple Porsche, and that is Ben Keating. Good start to the race for him, but it looks like the Astons have got the legs on the field. Out front, the number 7 Toyota. Talk about the legs on the field. Look at the way that Mike Conway is building the gap over Sebastian Buemi. Is this tyre strategy? They don't have enough tyres for a fresh set every time they stop. So is the number 8 car going to benefit from being a little more gentle on the rubber? This track is very tough on tyres. Battle for third in GTE Pro. We ride fifth with the 97 Aston Martin of Maxime Martin. Now each of the 3 manufacturers, Ferrari, Porsche and Aston, will treat their tyres differently, so they're going to have to work on different strategies. Who is trying to save rubber already?
We have to try to save the tires and see how is the degradation of the other. Keep going. If you want, you can use AC position 1. After you.
In the GTE AM class, as they come under the bridge, Bonamy Grimes looking to put in a move on the Gulf Porsche of Michael Wainwright, closing up behind Sebastian Buemi. It's a 3-car GTE AM Q. 83 Ferrari closest to us. They're the championship contenders. They are running last in the class at the moment. There's the Gulf Porsche, and Bon Grimes has gone by after being tagged into a spin. But look at the speed that the Toyota leaves them standing.
Basically, I think it's a 56 Porsche with Perfetti. Got down the inside of him, or tried to at turn 1. And then contact just as they came out of turn 1. There's no further action. It wasn't a lot of contact, but it was enough to bump Bonamy around, which is such a shame because he'd been letting Keating through, trying to have a clean race, so there was no need for it. We're a bit disappointed, but the way he's come back through the field, absolutely, he's come of age. Bonamy, absolutely brilliant. I'm so proud of him, so proud of him. He's really working well. He's catching the leaders, his fastest car on track.
And another pass for Bon Grimes goes by the 77 Dempsey Proton car of team boss Christian Reed. In the background, Francois Perrodo putting the moves in for 9th place in GTE AM. Goes by Mike Wainwright. The 83 car, though, does need to pick up the pace. The points-leading championship rivals, TF Sport, are at the top of the leaderboard. Still a lot of racing to go. United Autosports leading in LMP2 from Signatech Alpine, threading their way through traffic come the P2 cars, and one of the Toyotas in this sweeping downhill S's segment. There is little room for passing and absolutely no room for error down to the turn 8 hairpin. Oh, look how close that was. Kevin Escher leading in GTE Pro for the Porsche GT team. Right behind him, the LMP2 leader, United Autosports' Paul di Resta. And that's a much more relaxed place to catch and pass traffic. You can see the Toyota hoving up behind as well. Porsche currently in the lead, the 95 Dane train in second. Tight at the top of GTE AM, Aston, Porsche. 2 Project 1 cars, the white car Egidio Perfetti, the pink and purple car. Oh, down the inside, Paul Dall'Anna. I think he was caught out. Sally Yolok in the red Aston, a little slow into the hairpin. Yolok slides out wide and Dall'Anna spins in avoidance, but watch 57, Ben Keating. He sees the gap open up. He's the leader. Number 7 Toyota, first pit stop, number 8 coming in behind as well. But they're already nearly half a minute back. What are number 8 going to be able to do about the pace advantage at this stage? Mike Conway leaves. Number 8 Sebastian Buemi just arriving. Here's the battle now for second place in GTE AM. Sally Yolek in the red, TF Sport Aston. Looks like he's struggling for grip. Through goes Mike Conway, the race leader. Number 8 Toyota, 14 seconds back. They might have to be outthinking their rivals.
Why we didn't do what we said we could do? Just tell me, was it diffused? Gap too big to jump, gap too big to jump.
Pit stops in GTE Pro. Maxime Martin comes in to hand over the 97 Aston, not to regular partner Alex Lynn, who's tested positive for COVID, but to Richard Westbrook, who was due to be driving the 98 AM class Aston. He's moved into the Pro car. Pedro Lamy back in the 98 lineup for the first time in Season 8. Aston looking to change all 4 tyres. Replay here of the 92 class leading Porsche. Big handful of opposite lock. Luckily there's runoff room for Kevin Estre. He hangs on to the car, but not by much. Everybody is struggling already. It's going to be a long day at the office. First 2 cars in GT Pro in the pits. 92 Porsche, 95 Aston Martin. The outgoing champions and potentially our Season 8 champions pit together. What will the tyre strategy be? Fuel first, as ever. 97 changed all 4 tyres. And it is a 2 tyre change, left sides only for the 92 car. Aston going for 4 tyres. So Porsche in the heat of the day, not using all fresh rubber. Interesting call. Lead battle in GTE AM and the 98 Aston Martin now with Ross Gunn aboard, challenging Egidio Perfetti. So Paul Dall'Anna handing over to one of his teammates, Perfetti, and behind him Ben Keating. The Project One drivers, the AMs, stay in. Ross Gunn gets the run to take the lead of the class for the 98 Aston. 4th place TF Sport Aston, that's the red car. Last in class still the 83 Ferrari. TF leading the Drivers' Challenge. They could be champions as of now. Mike Conway leading in the final race for LMP1. Toyota looking to round out this era with a 1-2. And what an era of racing it's been. No doubt it will go down as a golden age of sports car racing, and a man who's seen it from the inside and the outside is Alan McNish.
The changing of the chapter. The LMP1 era has been absolutely stunning. Starting back in 2004 and through the different iterations. But just think back to those races. Audi against Peugeot, Audi against Toyota, Audi against Toyota and Porsche. And now here we are at the final race of this current generation. And for me, this has given us drivers so many beautiful memories, fans, so many races that you watched and you couldn't believe what was going to happen to the end. Engineering excellence. And here we are at one of the tight corners, and here you will see the Toyota and the latest generation of hybrid, how they brake, recuperate energy and use 1,000 horsepower to accelerate out of the corner and on their way. This is development, and this is what motor racing's about. And personally, I'm so proud to be a small part of it, and also now just to enjoy it for one final time before we see what's coming next. Come, let's enjoy.
Oh, there's been a change for second in GTE AM. The Ferrari 54 AF Corsa car. That's Giancarlo Fisichella now ahead of Egidio Perfetti. So where did that happen? Down through the S's, the XF1 driver goes by the Sweet Magnet. That's one of the joys of sports car racing. Different machinery, different drivers. Battle for 4th in LMP2. It's been a better year for Racing Team Netherlands. They're second in World Endurance. Signatech Alpine, though, have had pace and no luck at all. Can they round out this season 8 with a better result. They're looking for a podium at least. Number 38 Jota Sport car out of the pit lane as the race leader, just ahead of 37. Roberto Gonzalez, the Mexican driver, in 38-37, Ho Pin Tung. He's got heat in the tyres, coming up behind his rival. These two Goodyear shod cars first and second ahead of the number 22 United Autosports car. That's on Michelin. For some reason, United lose about 5 seconds in every pit stop, which puts extra pressure on the drivers.
So Phil, we are racing those two in front, so let's try the next 10 laps, just pushing and trying to get by you.
They said we'll play the long game to me, want to be to take easy the first.
Yeah, but we need to pass them on the track.
Battle for fourth place in GTE Pro, and a change. The Aston Martin was ahead of the two Ferraris. Daniel Serra has got through, and on the inside Miguel Molina trying to get through the gap as well. Can't get by Richard Westbrook, can he? Westy has spent about half an hour holding off these two Ferraris, but it looks like they have cracked his defence. The Aston is running out of grip at the rear end. That is not good news. Ooh. 37 in front in LMP2. This is the top three. Jackie Chan DC Racing ahead of the Jota car, and United right behind. Phil Hansen really pushing hard. Here's how the change happened. Roberto Gonzalez dive bombs by Ho Pin Tung. Gonzalez deep into the turn 10 hairpin. Tung goes by. Phil Hansen attacking hard. Roberto Gonzalez in his sights. You heard Gary Robertshaw, the team engineer, on the radio saying to Hansen, never mind tyre life, get in front of them if you can. You can hold them off on worn tyres. On board with Hansen, down the inside into turn 1. Classic Bahrain pass. Yeah, liking that in the garage. Pit stop for the number 91 Porsche, and changing drivers with each stint. Jimmy Bruni gets out, Richard Leitz will get in. Now, they have changed just 2 tyres in the first couple of stops. Michael Christensen awaits the arrival of Kevin Estre. The race leader is in the pits for Porsche as well. Porsche working hard on strategy as ever. Jimmy Bruni debriefing. Number 8 Toyota coming in, nearly a minute behind the number 7 car. Look, number 7 leaves the pits. What a dispiriting sight for the number 8 driver. His teammate is gone before he even gets to the pit box. The gap is growing. Number 8 team need to come up with something, and in a hurry. Look at this. Sunset in the desert, racing into the night. This is what endurance is all about. Oh, change for the lead in LMP2. Phil Hansen ahead of Ho Pin Tung. That will really please the United Autosport crew. What happens here? This is down at the end of the back straight. Oh, and Ho just outbrakes himself, runs out wide. Phil Hansen shoots up the inside. Thank you very much. Phil Hansen leading in LMP2 for United Autosport, starting to put the moves. Oh, a spin for Hansen! As he changed up going up the hill, the car just loops around. Let's ride on board, listen. Second, third upshift, car just spins in the middle of the gear change, and Ho Pin Tung goes back in front.
Yeah, I have no idea what happened there. I didn't drop the throttle or anything, it just kind of went completely out of my control.
Race leader Kamui Kobayashi for the number 7 Toyota team behind in the points after Le Mans. They must win this race to take the World Championship crown. They lead now by 66 seconds after just about 3 hours of racing. Number 8 team are powerless to respond. The gap just grows no matter what they try. Can they see their championship hopes slipping away?
3, 2, 1. Full course yellow. Full course yellow.
No major dramas bringing on the full course yellow, but as the sun sets, time to clear up all the debris that litters the track for race director Eduardo Freitas, and that triggers almost a full field charge for the pit lane. Time to try and take tactical advantage.
Full course yellow removed. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Everybody back up to speed, but about half the GTE Pro field still in the pits as they go green, and that will cost them time against their rivals. A couple of AM cars in there as well, and that might change the colour of the race in the AM class. 91 Porsche will definitely have lost ground, so too the 95 Aston Martin. It's now down at the tail of the field. We head into night, but the visibility is excellent here. Just look at the array of lights around this Bahrain International Circuit. It's night time, but the drivers can barely tell. 98 leading in the GTE AM class, but here is the 83 Ferrari. Francois Perrodo creeping up the order a little, goes by the Dempsey Proton Porsche for 8th place. Number 90 TF Sport car only in 6th. There needs to be a much bigger balance in favour of the Ferrari over this red Aston before the points lead goes away from TF Sport's Sally Yollock, Johnny Adam, and current driver Charlie Eastwood. And there is definitely no need to panic yet.
Yeah, 100%. You know, the long game is what we have to play today. World Championship at stake. So, but yeah, at the same time, I think just now in this stint, there's a few arms that are out, and Sally's done 2 hours already. So I think strategy we're okay just now. We have boxed under full course yellow, which we gained some time, but long way to go. But yeah, 1 eye in the championship.
Replay here at the end of the back straight. Dylan Pereira in the Wins Porsche, going by the Gulf Porsche of Mike Wainwright. So they climb up the hill out of turn 11. Mike Wainwright drifting a little wide in turn 11. Charlie Eastwood in the TF Sport Aston Martin sneaks through for 4th position. And that puts another spot between them and their title rivals, the 83 AF Corsa team, down in 8th position. TF Sport doing everything right at the moment. Well, TF Sport definitely not panicking. There's Manu Collar, one of 4 men here who was in the first ever LMP1 race in Monza in 2004. And the 83 Ferrari crew, they're just keeping on, keeping on. Meanwhile, TF Sport car moves up to 3rd place ahead of the 88 Dempsey Proton car. Great work by the Aston Martin crew. Charlie Eastwood really fired up for this one. They know the title is within their grasp. Khaled El Khabaisi aboard the 88 car with an LMP2 front runner coming up behind him in the form of the Senior Tech Alpine car. Nicky Team in the Aston Martin all over the back of Davide Rigon for 5th place. Rigon skids wide into turn 1, covers over in turn 2. And Nicky T may be thinking about the long term here, and taking the championship did not stick his nose down the inside. He's got grip to spare. Is he going to go the long way around the outside of the Ferrari? Yes, he is. Trusting Rigon not to make contact there. But the Ferrari just keeps its nose in front. Nicky Team wisely taking few chances here. They know they must finish. And look at that. A Ferrari really struggling, fully on the lock stops as he turns into one. Not much grip to spare at the back. Paul Dall'Anna for the AMR team, the 98 Aston Martin, former champions. They are leading the race here, can't win the title this year, but they can win the final race of the longest season ever. 98 crew waiting to do service. Here's the team that is currently the points leaders. Charlie Eastwood for TF Sport, all over the back of Thomas Floor in the 54 AF Corsa Ferrari. They're having a great run in the 54 car. And Floor in second place for the moment, but Eastwood going the brave way around the outside. Nice move, goes up to second spot in the final corner. Service for the 98 Aston. And on track, the battle for fifth position continues. Ferrari versus Aston. Halfway through the 8 hours of Bahrain. The number 7 Toyota looks to be heading towards the World Championship. In LMP2, Jackie Chan DC Racing lead ahead of Champions United. 92 Porsche at the top of the GTE Pro class, but as long as the 95 Aston Martin finishes strongly, they will take the title. And TF Sport leading in GTE AM, with one hand on the title trophy. Oh, drama in GTE. That is the 51 Ferrari. What's happened here? Inside a GDO Perfetti contact and a broken wheel for Daniel Serra. Let's take a look from on board. Oh, locks up and contact.
What he did? They crashed into me. I was inside.
Inside maybe, but was he going to make the corner without contact? It was a deep lunge from Daniel Serra. Heading back to the pit lane, look at this. The tyre finally delaminating. Safety car is out with all that debris on track. This could be a game changer. And for James Collado, any slender hopes of the title are now surely lost.
I mean, I was getting changed when it happened. I've only seen it once. Yeah, I mean, it's racing, it's motorsport. Happens, and yeah, disappointed, but nothing I can do.
Back to green, the race leader rushes away, and look at this, the top three in LMP2 nose to tail. Cinetek diving into the pits under green from fourth place as Jackie Chan DC Racing, United Autosports and Jota battle for the lead of LMP2 down into the first corner. Felipe Albuquerque right in the middle of it here, challenging Gabriel Aubry. He's right in front of us. Now Synditech Alpine diving into the pits just after the safety car. What's their strategy plan? Into the pit lane comes the leaders. Oh, and contact! Felipe Albuquerque runs into the back of Gabriel Aubry. Wow, what happens here? Aubry slows dramatically before the 60k line. Catches out Albuquerque. Looks like there's no major damage done. After a failure to finish in Silverstone at the beginning of the year, what a season these guys have had, including winning Le Mans and the World Championship title. Jackie Chan DC Racing beating them off the pit lane again. Final race for Jackie Chan DC Racing. Wouldn't it be great if they could leave World Endurance with a final win? 38, the Jota car at the top of the pile. LMP2 leader in the pits, and it will be a driver change. Roberto Gonzalez rushes round. He will finish his minimum driver time. Takes over from Antonio Felix da Costa. Battle joined again in LMP2. 36 Cinetech car in front, but look at that behind. 38 and 37, door handle to door handle. Through goes the Jackie Chan DC Racing car by inches. This is going to be fantastic. United Autosport in fourth, but the Cinetech car that leads on a different strategy. Remember, they pitted right after the safety car. TF Sport Aston here, and just a little touch from the Cetilar car, reminding us that not always are things in your own control. Sebastian Buemi passing Roberto Gonzalez in the 38 Jota car and leaves the door open for the Toyota, and that gives Paul di Resta an opportunity. Out of the hairpin and climbing the hill, the United car trying to get by. just couldn't find the grip, but now he's up the inside. Good move by Paul di Resta, using that fast car, levering the Jota car offline to move up the order.
Car 22 will have 5 seconds added to his next pit stop.
Well, he said it was pretty heavy. I mean, it triggered the accident light in the United car, so it was a fairly heavy hit, completely unnecessary. I think someone thought they're still racing in IMSA.
Maybe I was a bit optimistic. I think it's just a race incident. I think it's not necessary to have 5 seconds penalty to, you know, to add to this nice fight, because it's really nice to what we are seeing.
Little under 3 hours of racing to go. Jimmy Bruni looking to the inside of Richard Westbrook, the 97 Aston at the lead of the GTE Pro field, but slides out wide. Maxime Martin's championship hopes riding with the 97 car. Sister 95 car is in 5th and at the moment has the title. Take a look here. Westbrook has spent most of his stints defending positions, this time defending the lead, but unsuccessfully. Racing Team Netherlands in 5th position, Nick de Vries behind the wheel. And the gentleman driver Frits van Aert, the boss of Jumbo Supermarkets, arch enthusiast, has done all his drive time. Now he can enjoy watching the race.
You know, we are currently 5th, but it's really, really close racing. So, you know, we're going to fight for 4th. And maybe Guido and Nick are doing always a fantastic job. So I'm confident that they can fight for podium. So let's see what happens.
Nick de Vries all over the back of Paul di Resta. This is the battle for 4th, but will be 3rd because the 36 car Cinetec has just pitted. So di Resta passed, and the team loving that. Gerda van der Garde getting the clip on the helmet. Come on, son, you need to do this as well. Nick de Vries ahead of Paul di Resta. Battle for 3rd rages on. Both teams looking for a podium. That's what we're talking about. They carve their way through the GTE Pro field, but across the gravel trap goes Nick de Vries. You don't want to be doing that very often. Take a look again, gets it wrong, takes himself and the Ferrari a long way off track. Ooh, that's a big mistake. Final quarter of the race. Last 2 hours in Bahrain, last 2 hours of Season 8. LMP2 leader in the pit lane. And it's now perhaps that tyre management strategy will start to pay off for those who have suffered the pain of using worn tyres early on. And the Porsche team seem to be the lead among those in the GTE Pro field that did that. And as a result, 92 and 91 have been running 1-2 for some while. And now the fresher tyres come into it. 6 hours of pain for 2 hours of gain? Maybe so. The safety car helped the number 8 team get back within half a dozen seconds of the leaders in LMP1, but that gap has again stretched out. Number 7 has them covered on strategy and, crucially, on pace. And worse still for number 8, it looks as though number 7 still has fresh tyres in the locker.
Can we new tyres? We go for single tint on this one.
And that is what a driver wants to hear. You can absolutely rag the car. You don't have to worry about tyre life. Perfect stuff to build an advantage over your sister car.
Hey Michael, so situation to the end of the race, we might have to run a full stint on the last one to keep track position. So manage your tyres as much as you can. Yeah, I will do my best, I know that is true.
Porsche might have to manage their tyres, but Aston Martin are trying to manage the brakes. 95 dropped to last with the brake change before halfway, and they're worried now that 97 may need the same. So fresh tyres are ready. Look at that, completely brand new. Will that be a factor for the number 90 Aston Martin as well. The TF Sport car slipping slowly down the order. The 98 car also with brake concerns. No such worries in LMP2. It's all about speed to the flag. Anthony Davidson leading Ho Pin Tung. The two Goodyear shod cars doing a fantastic job right now. First and second. Cinetic Alpine in third, but on a different strategy. How will that work out in the remaining hour and 40 minutes? Have they played a blinder? Well, right now, all eyes on the lead battle in LMP2. Anthony Davidson, 38, the blue and yellow car. And he goes down the inside of the 54 Ferrari. Ho Pin Tung, the 37, gets held up a little. There's more GT traffic in front. Oh, and Ho Pin Tung looking to go over the hill and around the outside, down to the hairpin at turn 10. Phenomenal opportunity, but surely Davidson's got it covered off. He doesn't. Ho Pin Tung uses the momentum to slingshot around the outside and squeezes past the Aston Martin as well. Leaves the sister 38 car with nowhere to go. Now this is a pass that should not happen. Davidson in 38 has got everything covered off, but as the Aston cuts across him, he doesn't get on the throttle. He hasn't got the room. Ho Pin Tung on the outside. What a pass. 1,700 metres, that is 35 seconds at LMP1 hybrid speed. That is the lead Kamui Kobayashi has over Brendan Hartley. And whatever they've tried, the number 8 Toyota, the only way they got close to their rivals was when the field was closed up behind a safety car. It does look as though number 7 is on its way to the championship title. Of all teams, Toyota know that it's not over till the checkered flag, and that same caution applies to the crew of the 95 Aston Martin.
But right now it's just fingers crossed. We cannot really do anything. The car's been actually really good today. We were a little bit unlucky with the first full course yellow, where we lost all the positions. But then again, yeah, right now we're just bringing it home, basically.
Do you feel a little bit different from normally at a race meeting right now? Is there a different kind of tense inside you?
I feel sick right now, to be fair. I just can't wait to get it over the line.
With an hour to go, the number 7 Toyota team on their way to the World Championship title ahead of their teammates. In LMP2, United already have the crown. 38 look like they'll be next up. Barring disaster, the GTE Pro Drivers' title will go to the Dane train in the 95 Aston Martin. And in GTE-AM, it is still TF Sport who are ahead of AF Corsa. Final 75 minutes of racing for Season 8 of the World Endurance Championship. And Davidson brings the race leader into the pit lane, handing back to Antonio Felix da Costa, 38 ahead of 37. Change during the pit stop, the number 37 car back in front. The two Goodyear shod cars having a fantastic race. Let's hear from Gabriel Aubrey's teammate, Ho Pin Tung.
I think the foundation for the race was made yesterday in qualifying, where we only used one set of tires. Bahrain is particularly hard on tire wear, as we know. I think we're very pleased with the new compound that Goodyear introduced this year for us. It's the first time we're using it here in Bahrain. It seems to work really well, very durable. So that gave us a real pace to move to the front of the field.
It is the 37 car that leads from 38. Cinetic Alpine in third and definitely still in the hunt. But how will the tyre war end out? Drama in GT-AM. Potential champions TF Sport are now last in the class. Their rivals, the 83 car that has spent the first half of the race at the tail of the field, are second, and it is a break change for the TF Sport Aston. Just like the AMR cars, What a disaster. The championship is slipping away. No matter how fast this change happens, surely there's not long enough to get right back up to the top of the table. 97 Aston Martin is in. 95 has had a brake change. 98 has had a brake change. The TF Sport car has had a brake change. And so inevitably too must the 97. Maxime Martin's hopes of being a champion are gone. The 97 Aston Martin's brake disaster relieves the pressure on the Porsches. 1-2 at the moment, Michael Christensen leading, and the rest of the team will be breathing a sigh of relief.
I was not expecting this. I saw the other Aston, but I thought this one was going to try it to keep the car on the podium. It's sad for them, but that's the way it is. I'm more concentrated on our race now.
Final pit stop coming up here for Nicholas Nielsen in the 83 AF Corsa Ferrari. After 38 minutes of the race, they were last and struggling to even keep the car on track. With 38 minutes to go, they have one hand on the GTE AM title. Be a second win for Francois Perrodo and for Manu Collard if they can hold it together. Lead battle in GTE AM. Mike Wainwright in for the final stint of the race, but Larry Tenforder on the inside in the Team Project One car. The 2020 Porsche Mobil One Super Cup champion sweeps by up the hill and goes through into the lead. 77 in the pits, that's not going to be enough to help the 90 Aston Martin. Change for second as well in the main inset picture. That's the wins Porsche. The second Team Project One car has gone by Wainwright for second place. The Gulf car in third. Mike Wainwright just a little off track there, but a GTE car coming up behind him. As of now, the 83 AF Corsa Ferrari wins the AM title by 1 point from the red TF Sport Aston. Battle for the lead in LMP2. Jackie Chan DC Racing stopped a lap ago, but a phenomenal in-lap from Antonio Felix da Costa in the 38 Jota car brings him just out in front, does it? Jackie Chan's Gabriel Aubry right behind, but da Costa covers off into the first corner. Wow, fantastic stuff. One in-lap may just have been enough to win the race. Racing Team Netherlands and Senior Tech Alpine, different strategies through the race are playing out here at the end in this battle for third. Nick de Vries right ahead of Thomas Laurent. The Dutchman ahead of the Frenchman, the Dutch team ahead of the French team. And this is equally tight for third, the final podium spot as the battle for the lead, and the Jumbo team can just sit and watch. Same too for Jota and Jackie Chan DC Racing are going around the outside. This is where the pass happened last time when Jackie Chan DC Racing got ahead of Jota. This time it does not. Antonio Felix da Costa just holding off Gabriel Aubry, but it looks definitely as though Aubrey's got the faster car. It's better under braking, it's got better grip. Aubry just can't quite find a way by. 25 minutes to win this. 25 minutes that the Formula E champion Antonio Felix da Costa has got to hold off a quicker car with better tyres. There's Will Stevens, and the boss of Jota Sport, Sam Hignett, looks relatively calm. Manu Collard, Francois Perrodo and Nick Nielsen extending their points advantage as they move up to third place now. The 90 Aston in 8th. And this is a change for second position. Through goes the AF Corsa car. They're putting it further out of reach for TF Sport. Inside the final 20 minutes of the season. Oh, big lock up there from Jackie Chan DC Racing's Gabriel Aubry into turn one. He was trying to find an advantage. Take a look again down into T1. Almost ran into the back of Antonio Felix da Costa. Oh, Will Stevens. Da Costa still struggling to get the 38 car stopped. Aubrey is all over him. He's got traction to spare as well. Can he use the traffic here? No, Da Costa's gone down the inside. Down into the hairpin. Here comes Aubrey. Slings it down the inside. Da Costa didn't know he was there. Runs out wide. Can he find the traction out on the dirt there? He can't. And Gabriel Aubrey's on the inside, down the back straight. Aubrey with the advantage. Fantastic wheel-to-wheel racing, door handle to door handle in the final 10 minutes of the race of the season. And it's still not done. Felix Da Costa coming back. Aubrey hangs on to the lead. Final lap of the race of the season of the LMP1 era. Oh, and Ben Keating goes off right in front of the race leader. Oh my goodness, you don't need that on the last lap. But the number 7 car survives unscathed. The checkered flag awaits. It will be victory in Bahrain and the World Championship title to the crew of Toyota number 7. The final act of CEO Jean Neveu is to wave the checkered flag to finish the 8 Hours of Bahrain and the LMP1 era. Mike Conway, Kamui Kobayashi and Jose Maria Lopez are World Endurance Champions.
We're glad that we can still be racing, and to clinch his world title was amazing. Great job from the team, my teammates. You know, they've been all flawless all year, you know, so huge credit to them, and they make me look good.
Victory in LMP2 to Jackie Chan DC Racing's Hope Hinton, Gabriel Aubrey and Will Stevens. The team leave World Endurance with a final flourish. Last year's champions, Michael Christensen and Kevin Escher in the 92 Porsche win the final race of Season 8, but the titles have gone to Aston Martin Racing and the driver's crown to the Dane Train. The 95 Aston duo do it again.
We finally clinched the second world title, and we do it together again. You cannot really put words to it. You know, this is what we've been working for our whole life, and to go out and prove what we can do on track is amazing.
In GTEM, the champions also win the final race but wave the title goodbye. And as in 2016 with the Dane Train, so too for Francois Perrodo and Manu Collard, they are the drivers' champions. The celebratory donuts are on Felipe Albuquerque and United Autosports as our race winners head to the victory podium for the final time. The longest and strangest racing season ever comes to a conclusion. Toyota claimed the final win in LMP1, Jackie Chan DC Racing on top in LMP2, Porsche winning in both GT categories here in Bahrain. And in a race of minimal attrition, everybody who started made it to the finish. The Gentleman Driver of the Year trophy presented by the President of the ACO, Pierre Fillon, to arch enthusiast Proton boss Christian Reed. The revelation of the season, AMR's Ross Gunn, Richard Mille, presenting the trophy. The Excellence Award, presented by former boss Wolfgang Ulrich to Philippe Albuquerque after a stunning year for United Autosports. And to our champions, In GTE AM, the championship-winning team, the number 83 AF Corsa, crew Emmanuel Collard, Francois Perrodo and Nick Nielsen take the driver's title. In GTE Pro, the Dane train, as in 2016, are the driver's title winners, AMR winning the Endurance Manufacturer's crown. LMP2 champions and Le Mans winners United Autosport. It has been a simply stunning season for the crew. Toyota Gazoo Racing win the final LMP1 manufacturer's title. Mike Conway, Kamui Kobayashi and Jose Maria Lopez are world champions. And as one era ends, another is set to begin.